So Vincent, over to you. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Etienne, and good evening to everyone. And also from wherever you are, good afternoon or good morning, probably depending on your time zone. My name is Vincent Uebeling, as I said previously in our room. I was born in Congo, DRC, and this is where I grown up to when I finished my studies. Um, Being born in a country known specifically for major conflict since almost 1997 up to date, uh, we went through a lot of challenge. People are going through a lot of challenge on a daily basis. But then growing in that kind of condition helping me to understand a lot of things in life. And this is how, from the time I grown up in the northern part of Congo, in the border with Uganda, I have to leave and go to find a place for university, which is in Bukavu. Bukavu is the current zone, which is currently under the rebel of M23 currently. I spent 5 years, and then after finalizing with my studies, and then I went to the southern part, in the Katanga part, probably in the border with Zambia and Tanzania. I worked there for almost 4 years with one of the US-based organization called Food for Hungry. During the time I was working for Food for Hungry as a project officer, we had some issues with the local government in the management of some of the humanitarian fund in the organization where I was part of the leading team and trying to investigate on how the issue happened to affect the management of the fund, which was being done in partnership with the local government. It's where things went a bit bad. There's some people who didn't want to, their issues to be public. So for my own security and other reason, I have to leave. And this is how I left the country in 2016 to be host in Kenya. I passed through Burundi because there were no direct way for me to move from where I was in Katanga. The closest country where I can reach easily was Burundi, and then from Burundi, I passed by Uganda to reach Kenya. I selected Kenya because of the environment, but also the security aspect and opportunities, which are almost given for everyone. So when I left Congo in 2016 to be in Kenya, uh, I started living in Nairobi, which was not easy at that time because of the language barrier. In Congo we speak French, and then I have to learn English. I have to learn Kiswahili, which is spoken locally in Kenya. So it was a bit of challenge, and then also being in a new country, crossing probably almost two to three international borders. So I was a bit far from my normal habits of life, so I have to start afresh. And it was a bit challenging. And to cope with the situation, I was forced to go into the refugee camp. This is a Kakuma refugee camp in Turkana County, in the northern part of the country. And reaching Turkana County, it's one of the biggest, the biggest county, but then with a difficult environment in terms of climate. It's very hot on the other side. The temperature is close to 38 degrees. And it rains rarely in a year, so there is no agriculture. You need to import everything. And then with the local support from UNHCR and its partner, we were trying to cope with the situation, but it was not easy. So we had to find a way on how to survive despite the situation. And this is how, in that process, living with around 400,000 households in the camp, it was not easy to share the small opportunities we had. So you find a job and then you are paying less than $50 per month, which was not enough. Specifically, when you have a family, you need to sustain for the family. You find the condition of life is not really meeting the kind of requirement you may need. So I had to find a way of sustain myself. while creating also opportunities for others. And in the process of looking on how I can make things better than the situation we are living in, because being a refugee, I was always pushed to think that we can do something better, even if we are in a different country. Opportunities were there. We are learning in a new education system. There, with some few vocational trainings, I realized there were opportunities we can tackle. But then what I was missing was the right connection to make sure what I'm thinking about can become a reality. And in the process of looking on how I can get the right connection, this is where I met with the GIV, which is Global Innovation Valley, one of the senior community in Kenya. The first, even the only one senior community currently we have in Kenya. So I have to join the program. They were already in cohort 2 after the COVID time. I have to join the program in cohort 2. And after joining the program in cohort 2, we went through the normal process of the entrepreneurship training. And after finalizing the cycle, it's where I realized the idea I had can become something really interesting, and it can bring change not only for myself but also for the environment we are living in. So this is how I joined GIV, and then after finalizing, we developed the idea of creating Green at Mind, because the idea was there, but then I wanted some more insight, from a professional organization with people who are well trained in social entrepreneurship, who can understand the vision I have and help me to translate that vision into something which is really a practical and that can bring change to the community. So when we developed the idea of Green at Mind, it was specifically to support the young initiatives within the community by transforming metal waste into a clean cooking technologies to solve the problem of women in the camp who are spending 5 hours in the bush looking for firewood. So you find in a hard weather of Turkana, women spend 5 hours in the bush looking for firewood. And then when they're back, they have to take 3 hours to cook. So for a professional woman, this is 8 hours of work in the office, which is spent just to put a meal on the table. And in the process, they're exposed to household air pollution with the smoke produced by the traditional cooking model using tree stone with firewood. And it was also increasing the rate of deforestation in the county, which is almost semi-desert. So I realized something had to be done and urgently. And this is how we came up with the idea of Green at Mind to provide the solution which can reduce the rate of deforestation, but also prevent women from spending 5 hours in the bush looking for firewood, and also prevent the rate of dropout from girls for school, because when they go to look for firewood, then there is no school for that day. So those are the kind of problem I wanted to tackle. And this is how we started with 18 cook stoves in the beginning. Then we developed partnership with local shop owners to become our distributors. And then from there, this is how the idea picked. And then in the process, to understand better the social entrepreneurship context, I had to go back to JV as a volunteer, training the next cohort, supporting the team which was there. For me, it was a kind of giving back what I learned, which for me, I realized was creating visible change. So for me to help also others, I have to go back supporting others also to develop their ideas, supporting the team which was there. And this is how, during one of the trip in Uganda, I managed to meet with the team in Uganda from Django International. Then I realized Sina was bigger than what I thought. I met with different initiatives from different categories of people coming from different regions behind their vision. And Sina was there shaping, helping these young people to shape their vision. For me, it was incredible. And when during that trip, I managed to network with a different organization, one of them being Because International from the US, who are now our partner. And we managed also to meet with different local enterprises, and we learned a lot from them. So when uh, I went back with the different ideas, to shape what we started already, because I realized it was something bigger than what I thought. And this is how we manage now to restructure the organization with a lot of training we received from the SINA Global. And currently, we reach we reach a level of creating 23 employment for young people in Turkana County, part of them being women and youth. Those are people who are fully employed with Green at Mind currently. And since 2023, we managed to produce 3,500 cook stoves. This is roughly giving access to 3,500 households to use cleaner cooking method than the previous traditional method they were using. So by using this, it's contributing also to reduce the rate of deforestation and exposure to household air pollution. And we managed to partner with some organization like Ashden, which is based in UK. During one of their visits in the camp, we also managed to partner with Kenya Climate Innovation Center, which is a Kenyan-based organization supporting enterprises. And of course, because international, we mentioned, because I met with one of their team coming from the US at Jangu, and this is how we started the process of partnering with them. So the vision is still big, and it's even grown faster than what I thought. Because for me, I was not realizing that we may grow up to this level in just 3 years of implementation. Now, to increase and to maintain, our progress, we are still looking on how to improve more the quality of our product so that we can get something which is more reliable and more durable for the community. But also, with the current trend of clean cooking industry, we also want to see how we can integrate the IT aspect of the clean cooking to help us, have proper product, but also for data collection, to follow up where our cook stoves are, to track the level of emission we are reducing from the end users. This is the reason why we need the IT integration in the process, but also we need a market expansion because we realize the demand is still higher than the capacity, our capacity of production. So we are also looking on how to expand, probably also in other counties around who are sharing the same problem we are solving in Turkana County. But then we are also still having a challenge of getting proper networking for growth in terms of participating in some international events. It can be conferences to network with other people, getting some foundations who may be interested in supporting the kind of initiative we have. So briefly, this is what we are doing. Currently, we are in 2 counties in Kenya. Moving from Turkana County, we also have a branch in Kiambu County, which is near to Nairobi. And the reason is specifically to see how we can expand in other rural areas of the country to help people to use cleaner cooking product and also sensitize on leaving the traditional cooking method to a kind of cleaner product. So you can see some of the stoves we are making and some of our team we are working with. We had a chance of meeting Etienne at our production site, and it was an exciting process because getting a chance of having such kind of visit was more empowering for our team, and also it was something really interesting to help the team understand that we are not alone in that journey. Yeah, so this is what we are doing currently, and we are looking on now also to get into carbon market with the time partnering with some other organization in the industry to solve more problems and also contribute in creating a cleaner environment through the clean cooking industry. Yeah, briefly, this is what I can share from our side, and I will be happy to get some questions also from your side and also feedback to improve our vision of a clean cooking practice for all households in our country. Thank you so much.